Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to today's Startup Junkie. Of course, I'm your host, AJ, and let me make this official. Give you my official overlay. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Of course, it worked. There it is, right there. So it is official. Welcome to the Startup Junkie show. Thank you so very much for being here. Man, do we have a lot to talk about today. As promised, I said that I would come to you with a video about what it means to possibly put up to $12,000 in your pocket, say, over the next 12-month period. All right. And that has everything to do with, one, how much you're paying your mortgage, how much you're actually paying on your mortgage, and two, if your mortgage is at least $1,000 or more, which most people's mortgages are. All right. The other thing I am going to talk to you about is the second stimulus package. Is it likely? 100%. It's likely. Why, you might ask? Well, I'll share with you in just a second why that is the case. I am acknowledging that I have a lot of my brothers checking in. Nice to see you here. Looks like, actually, sister, Nikki Jackson. Nice to see you in here. Thank you for checking out the show. So, second stimulus package. Yes, absolutely. And last but not least, as I promised, how to start a business within 7 days under $1,000 by leveraging technology. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that and how to access the actual webinar, the date of the webinar, what you're going to learn in the webinar, and the fact that the webinar is 100% absolutely free. And when I say 100% absolutely free, I guarantee you there will be no upselling, there will be no sales pitch, there will be nothing but an hour's worth of information to you on the actual steps and a 30-minute Q&A. What's even more important is we're going to talk about in the webinar how to work remotely, how to build this business in the current marketplace, in the current pandemic landscape. And so, yes, we are super duper eager to share that information with you. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show today. Now, basically, I want to start off by saying something. I've been getting a lot of comments on YouTube from people who are saying, damn, another stimulus package video. Well, let me explain something to you, my friend, or friends, those people who have posted to me the nasty comments. I personally don't give a crap about your nasty comments. What I do, however, care about, and how this all plays into today's topic, is the over now 40 million people unemployed. Okay? Over 40 million unemployed with an additional 2.1 million of jobless claims just filed this week. And I literally have a problem with that because if you know anything about economics and anything about the unemployment rate, that literally puts us close to, or they're projecting the unemployment rate to be somewhere between 20 and 25%. Now, let me start off by saying any and everything that I share with you here on the Startup Junkie, AJ is not making this up. There is access to links of what people are saying, what people have declared. That means people on the right, such as Majority Leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, as well as any and every other person that is that has an opinion, that presents a bill, or that is shedding some light on the economic crisis and the second stimulus package. With that said, we're just going to get into it. So the second stimulus package, and I just want to read this to you, okay? Now, the second stimulus package, and this is according to Mitch McConnell, okay? Mitch McConnell, in essence, has said a second stimulus package is likely, but we are just waiting on financial information / data. All right. Well, that financial information / data has just come out. And that is, we were waiting to see what the jobless claims would be and how much it would go up. Now, you got to think about this. When you have 40 million, okay, jobless claims, these are 40 million people that you only know about. We're not accounting for all the people who have decided to drop out of the the job seeking workforce. Okay, we're not even talking about the people that maybe who were actually on unemployment prior to the 40 plus million, prior to April, that have been kicked off because they have literally their time has expired in terms of the amount of unemployment they can get for the state, from their state. Okay. We are including, however, those people in the southern states who, say, like in Mississippi, what I shared with you, that may only get maybe 150 plus bucks, 154, some very, very, very small number, per week from unemployment that has the $600 on top of it. So now, instead of just getting say 150 or 140 or whatever they get in southern states, they're now getting 750 because of the extra $600 per the CARES Act that has been added on top of unemployment. Now, in other words, yes, more people were making, or some people, especially in the southern states, are making or getting more money from unemployment than from actually working. And of course, I've introduced you to what Senator Rob Portman has offered, and that is adding an extra $450 stimulus to workers unemployed to actually go back to work as a part of their pay, right? I have told you about that. So let's talk about the second stimulus package, okay? We know that the HEROES Act has already passed the House, okay? We also know that Congress total is in recess. We know that, right? We also, based on current projections, it's not just me, you can Google it, the next time how the House is likely to vote on a second stimulus package is literally somewhere in mid to maybe the third week in June. The likelihood of filibustering, the likelihood of disagreements, the likelihood of people on both sides not agreeing to what should be in the bill is highly probable. And this is just my prediction based on, how, for the normal course of business, how it normally goes. So the likelihood of a package, second stimulus package, is likely based on Mitch McConnell, because this is how it works. The HEROES passed. It goes over to the Senate. It passed in the House. It goes over to the Senate. The Senate negotiates back and forth on what should be in and what should not be in, which, by the way, even though they're on recess, they say that they're working. Okay. That's just, just a side comment. So now they're working on this. Once it passes, okay, it goes to the president. So let's just look at a timeline here. Based on recess, based on negotiations, based on all those things, maybe late June, early July. Okay. So you might be saying, AJ, why are you giving me a timeline? I'm giving you a timeline for two reasons. Okay. The first reason is this. We will know very shortly whether or not we're going to be getting a second check. We will know that, okay? We will also know how that second check will actually come to us, whether a second check will be something that's directly deposited into our account, or will there be something that, that they're going to send out on a debit card. We will know, okay? We will know all of that. We do know that there is several demands within the HEROES Act that includes hazard pay for workers that are on the front line, such as delivery drivers, such as people working in hospitals, such as grocers. We know that, okay? We also know that there is money in there for the states for additional testing as well as contact tracing, okay? Now, we also know that many states have opened, okay? Now, think about this. Even though all of these states have opened, we're still seeing a rise in jobless claims. But here is the paradox. We're seeing a rise in jobless claims, but, and this is just my opinion based on research, we're seeing a rise in jobless claims, but we're also seeing a rise in the stock market. That's a paradox, okay? And so you might be saying, well, why is there a rise in the stock market? Why is the Dow going up? Why is NASDAQ going up? Why? Okay, why? Well, first and foremost, NASDAQ is primarily tech, okay? Well, not primarily, it's tech, okay? You have FANG. FANG is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, okay? You have those type of stocks, even though they're a little down, okay? You have those type of stocks, right? So let me just make the long and short here, okay? This is an indicator that investors, the stock market going up, that the investors can see a recovery of this economy. At the same time, that is fueled by, and this is based on research, and you can Google why is the stock market rising. You'll see some articles that come up by that are on CNBC, that are on Forbes, that are on Fox News, etc. This is primarily stemmed by the possible, vaccines for the current situation. Okay. Now, you might be saying, AJ, this still has nothing to do with the stimulus package. Well, yes, it does. Okay. And here's why. Okay. There needs to be money into the economy that stimulates the economy. In other words, money needs to go into Americans' pockets, because the economy is partially open. When I say partially, meaning that they're reopening, but many businesses are operating under capacity, such as 25% here in Texas, right? Many businesses are, okay? So now you got money in your pocket. Now you can go out and you can participate. Let's just say if the money is only $1,200 per person like it was in the CARES Act, or if it follows that pattern, right? You might be saying, well, $1,200 or $2,400 for a married couple is not enough, okay? I can't pay my mortgage, which brings me to the second thing that we said that we would talk about today, okay? Now, many people do not know, and I want you to understand that nearly 4 million people have already taken advantage of, economic relief as it relates to federally backed mortgages. A lot of people have already taken advantage of that. In other words, you literally could have your mortgage pretty much go in forbearance, okay? In other words, you don't have to make payments. So I want to read a couple of things to you here, which is kind of important, okay? A new federal law, according to the CARES Act, puts in place 2 protections for homeowners with federally backed mortgages. I said federally backed, like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, okay? First, your lender or loan servicer may not foreclose on you for 60 days after March 18th, 2020. Specifically, the CARES Act prohibits lenders and servicers from beginning a judicial or non-judicial foreclosure against you or finalizing a foreclosure judgment or sale during this period of time. And I'm going to get to in just a second how this can mean money in your pocket. Okay. This is number 2. Second, if you experience financial hardship due to the pandemic, you have the right to request a forbearance for up to 180 days, which is 6 months. Okay. You also have the right to request an extension for another 180 days. So 180, that's an entire year. Okay. 12 months. All right. You must contact your loan servicer to request this forbearance. There will be no additional fees, penalties, or additional interest beyond the scheduled amounts added to your account. Here is the most important part to this. You do not have to submit additional documentation to qualify other than your claim to have a pandemic related financial hardship. Now, this is according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is a federal agency. You can see the link inside of this post. Now, there is something very specific that, like, just because you can get up to a year doesn't mean they're going to automatically give you a year. I do believe that they will automatically give you, if I remember, if research serves me correctly, but you can check, because I mean, it was like a 14-page article, and I wasn't going to print all that out. But you can get at least 3 months, okay, where you don't have to pay. So you might be saying, AJ, well, what does this have to do with putting money in your pocket? Well, research has come out that many people, of the 4 million people that have actually qualified for this relief, and how do you qualify? By just simply saying, I'm having financial hardship. Many, I think it's like over somewhere between 40 and 60% of these people didn't actually lose their job. Okay. So much so that Steve Mnuchin came out and said that this is for people who have lost their job. But, you know, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to say anything. So many people have actually taken advantage of this. And this is how they're putting money back into their household. Because if you can defer your mortgage, I mean, put your mortgage into forbearance for, say, 90, 180, or 360 plus days. In other words, a year. Then where does the extra money go? So the extra money goes into, say, investments, because, you know, there have been some reports that some people are actually taking the money that they would have actually, paid on a mortgage, and they're investing. They're doing things to actually help secure their financial future. So I am saying to you, please click on the link in this post to find out everything you need to know about putting your mortgage into forbearance. Now, keep in mind, okay, I'm not telling you or not saying to you that you should do this. However, I am saying to you, of the 4 million people, many people have gotten this relief, even though they, quote unquote, didn't need it. All right. So, and they're actually putting that extra money in their pockets. Okay. So, speaking of taking your financial future into your own hands, I promise you guys that the Startup Junkie would bring you a free business webinar. Okay. We have already set the date, and we've built out the webinar room, and that date is Wednesday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. Central Time. So within the body of this post is a link on how to register for that webinar. Remember, I made the call to you and I kept saying, drop a Y, meaning yes, that you want this webinar, right? And basically what we were going to do, or what we're going to do, is show you how to start a business within 7 days, leveraging technology. So important, as it relates to social distancing right now, with for under $1,000. That is, again, how to start a business using technology, leveraging technology within 7 days for under $1,000. And here's some of the things that we're going to cover in the webinar. Okay, we're going to cover how to file your business legal entity, how to hire independent contractors and freelancers with little or no money up front out of your own pocket. You know what I mean? That's how, how you can do that. We're going to show you how you can do that. We're going to show you how you can brand your company. Say, for example, how you can get on the low, real low price, how you can get logos built, websites, etc. And we're also going to show you how to, what software to use to have legally binding contracts for clients and contractors, state specific. We're going to talk about the free, low, and no cost accounting software, as well as marketing software, to actually help run a real business. We're not talking about a side hustle. Okay. We're talking about starting a business. We're talking about running a real business. We're talking about legal entities. We're talking about, actually having people work for you, and where you don't have to pay them up front. You literally can take the money from that you're being paid by clients and actually pay pay the people that are working for you. And this works really well if you're in the service industry. And we're going to talk about the big thing is how to work remotely, right? How to do all this while maintaining social distancing and being able to generate revenue for you and your family. We're going to talk about what you need to do on a yearly basis to make sure that you handle, your franchise taxes. And I'm not talking about franchise taxes like, say, if you bought a McDonald's or something like that. No, I'm talking about, depending on the state, you have to pay what is called a franchise tax, okay? If you're an LLC. We're going to talk about that, tell you what you need to do. And again, we encourage you to participate. We like for you to participate in this webinar by simply clicking on the link in this post. There are absolutely no sales pitches. We're just doing this. This is a give back. This is what you asked me for when I did the live show on how to start a business in 7 days for under $1,000, leveraging technology. This is an opportunity for me to expand on that. This is an opportunity for me and my team to actually share with you more information that you need to know, the minutia, get into the details, but at the same time, it's going to be easy to understand. No high talk, no, talking over your heads, none of that. Okay. So I'm asking you to drop down on this post and go ahead and register for that webinar. Coming up again, Wednesday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. Central. And here's the beautiful part about that. There's no software to download. You know how like when you meet with somebody on Zoom, you have to download Zoom software, you have to do all this. What's going to happen is once you register, you're going to get a personal access link to actually show up for the day of the webinar. And no worries, we're going to send you email reminders to remind you that the webinar is happening on this date at this time. Okay. And we won't be sending you any emails following up. Hey, be sure to buy, stocks or anything like that, like you see a lot of YouTubers do. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Please register for that webinar. Please know that I'm going to leave you with this thought. There is likely a second stimulus package coming. Okay. And this is the words of Mitch McConnell, right? And there is mortgage relief out there for you based on the CARES Act. All you have to do is drop down in this post and check out the links. All right. And I am going to encourage you to take your financial future into your own hands. All right. Just simply attend this webinar. If you're an existing business owner, this will still be great for you because there are things that we're going to cover like the business model canvas, how to test an idea. We're going to cover certain things that, not every business school teaches. Okay. We're going to cover these things that technology companies do to quickly go through an idea to see if it's a good idea. And if it's not, you move on. And that's what it's all about. We don't want to waste your time and we want to give you content that matters for you to do what's best for you and your family's financial future. I'm AJ, your host of the Startup Junkie. Be sure to check out the Startup Junkie live show right here on this social platform. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope/Twitter, and be sure to check out the Startup Junkie live podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, as well as iHeartMedia. Until tomorrow, everyone, I am 100% about to get out of here. Love y'all. Take care.